Today, a spot in the grand finals is up for grabs, and it's going to come down to Team Heretics and Team Vitality. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Riot Games Arena. We're coming to you live from Berlin, Germany. I'm your host, Yinsu, and I'm joined here by Kaquka and Steel. A lot has happened since you were last in this studio. Yeah. But did you expect the top three to be these three teams?
I mean, maybe I did not expect it, but I'm super happy to see it. I think that Vitality should be celebrated after this stage that they had to make it this far, to make it to champs. I think it's great for them. I'm very happy for them.
I wasn't expecting them to make it this far. I obviously thought that FUT was actually going to be one of the top three teams. I thought Heretics and Fnatic would also be there, but Vitality surprising everyone, kind of sneaking their way through.
I thought it was going to be FUT versus Heretics for the grand finals, so I'm very, very wrong about that one, but I'm happy with the top three we got here because they will all be going to champs, and once they get there, they'll be facing these teams here, and we will find out later today who's going to be joining Sentinels, G2, and Leviathan. Steel, Josh, which team are you most scared for our 4 EMEA representatives?
Well, I would say Gen G again then, I guess, because of what happened last time. I would say that for sure. And then, I don't know, Sentinels or G2, why not?
It was rare, I was there. I remember it all too well. I am actually really looking forward to see DRX. We haven't seen them internationally this year. I think that they're going to be extremely hungry, especially now that Pacific has a trophy and they weren't the ones bringing it home.
That's actually crazy to hear, right? The fact that it wasn't PaperX or DRX to bring it home. Shout out to Billy Gaming. You guys know why. Anyway, let's play a little game we call Truth or Cope. It's been a while since we played this game, and I've been told that I'm allowed to join in this time. I've been given permission to express my opinions. I think it was that one day that I did on the desk as an analyst. Now it's given me privileges to join you guys. So let's get into it. We're going to give you guys a statement, and we're going to decide here between the three of us if that statement is truth or cope. So let's bring out the first one. I hope I haven't seen these, so I hope it's a nice one. Oh, EMEA is the best region? Is that not the easiest truth ever?
Come on, Josh.
What? I mean, you're not one of us, so, you know, you're just saying that because you're NA.
And apparently he doesn't want to be one of us either.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start with you. Why Cope?
Well, because, what's it, the best region? Because clearly they haven't won anything yet.
What do you mean?
This year. Well, I mean, okay, talking about the last event, it was Gen G, and the time before that was Sentinels. So until they can start posting up some, you know, top 1 finishes, not top 2 or top 3, then I'm going to say Cope for now.
Wow, okay.
I say it is very difficult to measure success, but I am a bit biased because I've lived through all of EMEA's history. And I think that we've had very good success. Like, I'm happy with the representation that we have when we go internationally, how the league goes and everything. And I think that from the feeling that I have, to me, it is the best region.
I'm not biased, as you guys know, and I've done some field research at these international tournaments. I asked teams, you know, on the download, who do you want to play? Who do you want to face up against? And pretty much unanimously, all the other regions, they say Fnatic and Team Heretics. I'm not hearing a lot of other NA teams or Pacific teams, so true.
Yeah, but to be fair, like everyone who doesn't get to play those teams every day wants to play the teams that they don't get a chance to play.
Yeah, but they could say any other for the other regions.
And
when you go to a tournament and if you think about winning, you want to win against the best, and that's what they say EMEA.
You tell them, girl. You tell them, girl. But let's bring out the second statement. Is it going to be like NA is the best region now? EMEA rookies better than other rookies. Thing is, my favorite rookie in the whole world is Karen. So
yeah,
but after Karen, everyone else is from EMEA. So I will give a half
Like the
truth.
ones from Pacific are so good, but I think that we have had so much talent this year. It's been the news.
But narrates from NA. So.
There's a very
doesn't matter. He decided to come to the better region.
It's very hard to kind of pinpoint it because like I'm obviously just immersed in what's happening right now, and we got to see, especially with Team Heretics and how they've been doing, Vitality on the rise up as well. So it's hard to say a different region just because of all the stuff that's been happening.
What about Hero?
Oh yeah, and
Hero, true, absolutely
it
true.
Has to be,
See, there's too many.
No way you can cope this.
Okay.
If you cope this, you're wrong.
I said true.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
okay.
This is not on the statement, but I just want to ask you guys very quick. What about EMEA has the best veterans? How do we feel about that statement? Is that truth or cope? Oh, we don't have finesse.
Angel?
We don't have finesse. Cope. Hard cope. We
Did we just
don't
make
have finesse.
that one up? That's not.
Yeah,
that's
no,
not
I
the
made
thing?
it up. I
okay.
made it up. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have the best veterans.
I mean, it depends. Like, what do we consider a veteran?
Angel, finesse, Sadak. Oh, America's got it all. Okay, let's move on, because the more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm thinking that America's definitely win on that one. Let's take the next statement. We got one more. Okay, Heretics are stronger than they were in Shanghai. Oh, Cope. They came second at the international tournament. I feel like that's their highest high this year, no?
Yeah, but it's difficult. Like to me, today and tomorrow are going to be a proof of that. If if they can take this format again, the not being week to week, but actually making it onto playoffs in this tournament style and make it forward. If they manage to get a 3-0 today, then yes.
They lost maps to some of the worst teams in the league right now. Like they lost a map to Gentlemaids, Giant X, and Koi. And for a team that's getting to the grand finals of an international event, they shouldn't be dropping those maps. They've looked not as good for them as, kickoff or split one.
But counterpoint, losing those maps might highlight your mistakes and you can learn from them. So maybe they can come out stronger.
Absolutely, but they've looked.
Yes.
They've not looked as strong.
Counterpoints. Those teams are not actually that bad, in my opinion. I think Koi have the best Icebox in our region. I think GX also showed that they could have easily made playoffs. So they're human.
I don't disagree, but they were crushing people like 2-0 all throughout, all the way leading into Shanghai. In Shanghai, they played well. So contrasting. I don't think they're as good right now.
Okay, well, that's our thoughts, but I'm sure you guys want to hear some more thoughts as well. I got a treat for you. Here is Mini Boo even, and Runner with Zoe.
Runner and Miniboo joining me for a quick chat before your game. This is basically the end of your rookie season, so I want to talk a little bit about, your experience and the expectations you had coming into it. Starting with you, Miniboo, obviously you were grinding out that tier 2, then at the end of 2023, falling short in the Ascension playoffs, but you still got your shot with Team Heretics. What expectations did you set for yourself as a player heading into 2024?
I mean, our goal was to, get into, one international event, get experience for the next year, kind of warm-up year. And, yeah, we wanted to qualify at least for one international, and I think we kind of, achieved that goal.
You not just kind of achieved that goal, you definitely, and now you're also going to be at Champs. Looking at the Vitality side of things, it was an up and down year with more inconsistent results. How did that impact you as a rookie player?
It was definitely rough, but if you know how to take a loss, you will improve, you will learn, you become better as a player. So we just took those losses and kept the grind up and fixed all the mistakes, and yeah, we made it to Champs now. So
you did indeed. Yeah, losing is learning, everyone, and it got you all the way to Champs. Now, looking at those opportunities you had, though, coming second in the kickoff stage 1, and you were in Madrid, and also, of course, in Shanghai, coming second. Lots of opportunities to play best of 5s. What do you think, as a player, is the most important thing to think about when playing those long series?
I mean, don't drink too much Red Bull during the first game. And you should expect to play 5 games, and you should control all your energy for all 5 games. Not to save up the energy, but you just have to expect to play 5 games, and yeah, kind of balance it out during the games.
Yeah, so it's definitely a grind in those long series. Have you received any advice, since Vitality as a team did not get the opportunity this season? Was there any advice or anything your team has talked about to make sure that you're not running out of steam?
Nothing specific, just stamina game, whoever energy goes down first is gonna lose, so gotta start running, gotta get your stamina up.
Now, as rookie players coming into this season, obviously there's a lot of opinions on your performance, lots of eyes on it as well, and that also means a lot of advice. Has there been any really good and meaningful advice that you have received that helped you in your first year?
I mean, the best advice I've been given from my coaches, that you cannot control the result. You can control your game and your effort. Even though if you are playing good, you can still lose, and it's out of your hand. So you just have to focus on the things that you can control.
What about you?
Yeah, just focus on playing. You can't fix other people's mistakes, let's say. You can ask them to adapt or something, or give them an idea, but you can't control other people, so you have to, I guess, focus on yourself, focus on the things you can control, like he said, and that's the most important advice.
Now, both of you already qualified for champs, and there's an opportunity to not just represent the EMEA region, but also some, I would say in the grand scheme of esports, underrepresented countries, come from Lithuania and North Macedonia. I don't think we've ever seen someone from North Macedonia make champs. What does that mean to you to be able to represent your place?
It means a lot because, I mean, I'm a prideful guy. I like my country, you know, especially the food there. So, like, when I came first to Germany, I mean, I didn't expect much. Like, as like a Macedonian player, sure, it's nice to have a Macedonian player, but we gotta put it on like a higher level in VALORANT, especially because there is like no Macedonian player. So it means a lot to represent my country.
What does it mean to you?
I mean, as Rainer said, I love my country as well. You know, like, and it's not much players from Lithuania in esports overall. Like, it's not that popular. So yeah, it feels great.
Well, I can't wait to see you guys in action again. First things first, of course, one of you has to get out of this playoffs and the other one will move on to play Fnatic in the finals. Thank you both so much. Best of luck in your match, and we're heading back to you guys.
I know we always do Estonia Player of the Week. I feel like Macedonia Player of the Week is underrepresented, but let's talk about this best of 5. Of course, it is going to be the first best of 5 Team Vitality ever play. How big of an advantage do you guys feel Heretics have given the year they've had with that experience?
So the thing is that Vitality, most likely, especially if they win, they go to that third map. But talking about 5, especially against an opponent that you've played a couple of times already this year, even in this playoffs, that has so much experience, especially also, as I say, in this kind of format and tournament and playing day after day, I think that Heretics does have an advantage.
I think both players highlighted it in the interview. They were talking about the endurance race of everything, just making sure that they have enough energy for the 5 maps, not to burn it out in the first map or 2. And Heretics obviously has done a few best of 5s this year so far, but they've come short in all but one of them. So it's a test, and this is one of those things where you can't teach experience. So having that veteran player on the team or veteran coaches, anyone with experience to guide them through and say, hey, don't have a Red Bull in map 1. Don't, you know, burn out and use all your energy to close out those maps. And if you're losing a map, you know, it's not even the worst strategy to be conserving your energy to make sure that you come back, because it's 5 maps. You have to get to 3 wins and you can lose a map.
Here's my problem though. The ones that Heretics did lose, the Fnatic best of 5, the Gen.G best of 5, they were not great. They did indeed just run out of steam. You know, they got reverse swept. We don't want to see that again today.
No, totally. And this has to change, especially once we look at the last tournament of the year. For Heretics, the going back, they're actually being able to perform again and maybe win the tournament finally, it makes them very hungry. But think about Vitality. Think about players like Runner. They've never been to an international, not even lock-in. They weren't even here. So they're thrown into the wolves, and they need this experience. They need to see themselves winning.
It's also a rematch, though, as we know. Stats don't lie, and whenever you have a rematch, the losing team tend to do a little bit better, and in this case, it would be Team Heretics.
I think Heretics is in a really good position right now. I think the biggest thing would be their own mental and getting over a mental block of, will they become the chokers, and then thinking about, oh, if we win this and we go to grand finals and we always lose those ones too, they need to get over that mental hump.
Yeah, but this is the thing, you hear from Wood, I want to go to every grand final, but I don't want to lose anymore, please. Relatable.
Completely. I mean, it has been the curse for them, but getting to that final has never been the problem for Team Heretics, so it shouldn't be today.
That is right. This is the time, you guys. It's going to be a best of 5 this time around. Vitality, they beat Heretics in this playoffs already, but the question is, can they do it again? Nice little cabbage there from Neil Zenio. This is the thing, Team Heretics, they're the team that nobody expected to be in the lower bracket at this playoffs. But ever since they did drop down, the vibes have been better. They bounced back, they look great. And Vitality, how poetic, how amazing would it be for them to make their first grand final in EMEA as well, which means this map pool is going to be very, very important.
And especially when we talk about the best of 5, only 2 bans are going to be available. VIT is going to get rid of that Abyss. They don't want to see it. No surprises at the beginning.
Yeah, I said no surprises. Also, Josh, picking Icebox Sunset, again, I feel like we expected this.
This is, yeah, there's nothing that we can really say about it. The only thing that I could have said is weird is maybe Vitality would want to go for Haven instead of letting Team Heretics pick it. That's the only thing that I can see weird, but yeah, Icebox, this is normally Vitality's map that they like to play, and Heretics hasn't looked great on it, but, you know, they won last time.
I'm very excited for that. Lotus is a map that we're going to get 100%, and even though we have seen these 2 teams play a couple of times, that has a map that we have not seen against them, and I think that they've been having pretty good results and show-ups, so I really want to get to that 3rd map.
Yeah, and Icebox is going to be interesting because these are the 2 teams that have played Icebox alongside Koi more than anyone else. Heretics have played it so many times. They look great on the international stage as well. But for me, I think the Vitality comp and their synergy is just a little bit better here. They look more comfortable.
And when you talk about the synergy and the composition maybe a bit better, they played this map earlier in playoffs. And even though Vitality was able to turn around a 9-3 half, when they got on the defense, still Heretics won it on the overtime. Again, from wins, there are some things that you can lose, but from losses, you learn a lot, especially against the same opponent.
Let's see if we're going to get any changes here. Agents are like, I don't think so. And Josh, why would we?
There's no reason to. My biggest concern about Team Vitality is how their intra-game performance kind of fluctuates so often, where they can have such a good result of 13-7 and come down to lose 13-7. So I want to make sure that we see a little bit more consistency from them there.
And I think that the quality of this game is going to be sky high. We know that the preparation from this team is unreal. So my eyes go to Miniboo, changing a little bit of the setup from the walls that he uses, and also to kicks, runners, and anybody that has any damage in utility. I think that is going to be pivotal for having the read on the other team.
Team Vitality weren't so ready for this Neon aggression and the movement last time. They should be now. They know what Miniboo is going to do. I just wonder if they're prepared for some counters, perhaps.
It's going to be difficult to get any really good counters because there's no, like, you know, Cypher's the best counter to her, but they have Killjoy, and it's Icebox, so why not? So
bring Angel in.
Bring it. Okay.
Yeah, we will see. Unfortunately, we won't have Angel, so we'll have something that's next to best, which is, sorry, Mitch and Tom, over to you guys.
Hey, you know what, Tom? You're my angel. You're my angel. The leader, perhaps. And look, I'm excited to see who's going to come out in the lead after this one. BO5 for us here on LAN, Tom. There's no better feeling.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one because I feel like on paper, you'd look at Heretics and go, okay, even though it hasn't gone great for them versus Vitality, they're still the favorites. But Heretics as an organization have never beaten Vitality, so it would have to be the first time for everything. You're also talking about a team that was at the last Masters final, was at the last EMEA final, and the EMEA final before that. So it almost seems like destiny for this team to get to another grand final and lose. But that's not the point. That's not the point. They should still be there. Vitality looking to try and defy the odds again. That's what they've been doing throughout this playoff stage.
I think you have to look at it this way, Tom. They've been on their anime training arc. You know what happens at the end? They always win. Well, most of the time. Sometimes it goes very badly. But for Vitality, we'll see if they're able to stop Heretics from reaching that final. Again, flawless record when it comes to EMEA. Close to when it comes to internationals. They had a little hiccup along the way. But, well, the majority of the finals this year have seen Heretics in them. Let's see if we're going to see the same thing this time around. Big challenge, though. Vitality have been on the uptick. They've looked better and better every game we've seen them in, and this is their chance to prove that they're competing with the best on that international scene. Early on, attack side, plant is found. Heretics has stacked up B early on, so it's going to be the retake.
And they had that early aggression. Didn't get the success maybe they wanted. Post-plant utility mostly revolves around shock darts for that attack side. Already Safe is going to be forced back off the angle. Miniboo so quick to try and take the space, and while still stunned, it's going to be an easy first kill. In fact, another coming up their way, and that diffuser already halfway. Nobody able to deny it, it seems. No one even attempted to deny it. It's going to be Heretics taking the pistol, and well, I think Vitality were a little bit lost in the fights.
It definitely looked like it. A nice start for Heretics, 1-0 up, and they've got to feel like that was relatively easy. They lose the site, given up for a retake, and in a pistol, well, there's still going to be bits of utility, but I think everyone had invested into Ghosts as well. So you're talking about a lot of raw aim duels, but ones that work out for them, even without the shields. It starts here. Safe, left up close, stunned up, gunned up, and oh, the bodyguard, the wingman, certainly worked out. Benji's off to a flying start. I've been seeing him do some of the rock gif, you know, the let's go, and he crunches his arms together. Benji's almost got the muscle for it too. Oh, okay. I thought that was a free kill on the Woot, but well, Trex is taken down. Some stingers invested into, or at least one for the side of Vitality. There it is. The second one's being recovered. But so far, they've done damage. Maybe they'll be able to convert a kill or two.
Yeah, again, we see this incredibly light buy from the side of Heretics as well, though. Maybe that's why we're actually getting those stingers in. I think also they could be a little bit worried about one of the other buys that we see from Vitality, which revolves around the Outlaw. The stingers, though, working just as well, at least for the moment. Got themselves into a winnable position up until the point where Benji drops 2 kills. Now it leaves Kicks. Spike down, planted in his favor.
Love it.
He needs a kill immediately, and well, not going to get it. Now they know he's close. The rest could just look to swarm.
That gun was given over to Boo as well. Benji knows he doesn't want to go down, although Rienz falls in the end. So there will be some damage to the economy. Bulldogs carried forward for Heretics, or a Bulldog and a Spectre. Yeah. As the defuse goes through. And not a bad start for Vitality, though. They've done a great amount of damage, and yeah, they invested into some stingers, but look at their credits. They're still in a decent place coming into next.
This is the thing I like. As I said, they have 2 or one more specific buy that they go for, which is that Safe sometimes buys an Outlaw or is bought an Outlaw. So what the Heretics do, they go, okay, I want to counter that. Let's all buy the heavy shields and go for the Spectres. So then they buy Stingers. So that you're almost on more of an even playing field while expecting a guy to have a sniper that will rip you apart. So it's not a bad idea. It's still quite a costly one for the side of Heretics. And okay, there's going to be a couple of rebuys. The players that had the pistols will get rifles, but it means that this buy is definitely not the best of them.
Yeah, there's going to be some weaknesses there for sure. You can see them clearly on your screens. That one extra player lost for Heretics comes back to bite them. Spectre as well as the Bulldog. But for Vitality, this is their chance. A round on the board, and it starts out towards the B site. They've taken control of the initial choke point, but moving towards the site, there's an orb in their way that could slow them down on the closer lane. On the back of B, on the back of Yellow. Just take a look. Woot has been holding Dizzy, ready to pop it as soon as Boo gets contact. Dizzy goes up, flashes them, and a swing from Woot and from Miniboo on the other side should destroy anyone who dares step through that choke point. It's a beautiful setup, but it doesn't look like Vitality are going to fall for it just yet. The spike is still outside B for sure. Take a look at the rest of the squad. Seems like they're going to send a mid flank through, and in fact, that gets the aggression out of Heretics. They're sick of waiting.
Yeah, they managed to now catch them from behind as well, leaving just one player who can actually fight, and that player is already dead. This is incredibly clean from the side of Vitality. The last man standing wasn't one of the rifle players either. It's going to be Rienz, just a pistol.
Seemed like they got it, like they were very much teed up to run into a trap on the side of Vitality, sending 3 players back to mid, making this a split instead of a more direct hit has worked out wonderfully for them. And after that, the Thrash, obviously, secured early on by Kicks. Now reveal for Rienz, 5 players to drop. Best case scenarios, probably drops a rifle, but they've got him surrounded. It's going to be a tough way. Has to fight his way out of this one, and he will do so to start, but he's left down to 5 HP. An easy finish for anyone who's seeking it, and even getting that rifle. Okay, he's actually free to get to it. Does he get out, though?
I think he's going to get dropped safe. Rounding the corner, doesn't actually expect him to be there, making it a little bit more costly, but look at where Trex is. He may just run into him, but he's found a safe corner. Not a bad round at all for Rienz in the end when he comes out with a rifle, only having a pistol. Still, Vitality, 3 players off the first buy. And I also want to contextualize just their sort of second split as well. They've only lost to 1 team.
Who was that, Tom?
That's Fnatic, the team that's already waiting for them in the final. So it's almost, yeah, you talked about that sort of powering up. That will be the same thing for Vitality, just looking to try and get into that final, finally beat Fnatic. And what for Safe, back-to-back Stage 2 champion would be nice. But of course, it's going to be much more of a brawl than that. For some of the players, even getting to the best of 5 stages, something new. Not so much for Heretics at the Tier 1 level, but I'm sure for the likes of Runner, it's been mainly within that Tier 2 scenario. Miniboo already going to be spotted, and Woot looking to fight forward as well, but for now, it seems again that Vitality are being patient. They're not rushing into things.
And Heretics are shifting towards that A site. You know, Miniboo didn't just see 2 players. He saw the turret as well. You're getting an info that a lot of these guys are around that A site. So the rotation comes in from Rienz. We see a much more aggressive stance coming out of Benji. He has his alarm bot covering the walk under tube. If they decide to split B again, the info will be there, and he can try to launch a play through the orb. And ultimately, this clock is going to run down quite low before Vitality make a move. The drone is sent to B. I think this is meant to be a ruse. It might even step forward and take the orb before doubling back.
The thing is, with Thrash for Woot, they don't actually have to rotate. They can play the retake. Boo's normally very good at sort of holding the ground and maybe finding a kill, but the spike is now going back in the other direction. It's almost a double fake. Safe has kept 3, even 4 players on that side of the map, and it's only really Boo there to try and deny.
And Miniboo can get here quite quickly, but he's not going to get ahead of the hit. Vitality are already on site with the little guy planting that spike. Nano set up for post plant as well. Some utility to work around for the attackers still, even after running the clock down low. Boo, he's getting super aggressive clear in that corner. Sender's on 10 HP. Weapon diff in this instance, but it's enough to give them the advantage. That's a huge seize. Some of these players detained now up close. Although the shots don't land for Miniboo, the trade is there for Rienz. They've gained some space with this. But now Vitality are back, ready to fight. Nano's removed from the spike, already halfway defused. They're stepping out to try to deny it. But a steadfast hold by Rienz and co. 3-1.
I think that's going to be one of the most fun things about this game is the 2 Sova players we have in this match can put up duelist level numbers. And Rienz always seems to fit that bill. Fantastic trade on the first, but then the rest is just that headshot accuracy, holding the angle, denying any re-aggression. And I believe that the Thrash, I think, maybe got 2. That's why the others weren't able to actually fight with the rest of the team. So high impact Thrash got them the space. And then the goal was basically just to hold on to it. Heretics break back immediately. And it's going to make the buy a little bit more shaky. A few players with some extra credits. So there will be 3 guns in play here for Vitality. We've seen them many a time make it work with those low purchases.
Well, Vitality are on the downturn in this round. Boots already picked up 2 before going down, and well, with Sander traded out as well, it's going from bad to worse for Vitality. 2 versus 4, post-plant Hunter's Fury for Rienz, or even pre-plant at this point. I don't think it's going to be used. I don't think it's going to be needed. Some kills for Vitality might put the pressure on. They need to find those with a big swing on backside, and there's 3 players lined up to take them down. The firing squad of Heretics in full effect. It's now 4-1, and this is a beautiful start to the BO5. Remember, first map pick, Icebox, that was Vitality's, and they're trailing by 3.
Yeah, it's one of those vetoes that's actually an interesting one because it's... I'm not surprised by the choices if you go on the overall record. Like, Vitality has been better at Icebox, and the next map of Sunset has gone the way of Heretics. But if you look at the previous time they played each other, they won each other's matches. So both teams clearly feel like, okay, we let it slip. We let things go. Now, I will say, last time Icebox was played, it was a very defensive affair. It was 9-3 halves on defense for either side. So it's not the end of the world for Vitality, but you can't expect things to go the same way. And I think one of the major points from me, at least, that could turn the entire series, I think Woot genuinely might have had one of his worst series of the whole tournament versus Vitality. He was the bottom fragger in the entire server. He went -17. Do I expect that to happen again? Absolutely not. He's been one of the best players in EMEA all year once he stepped in. Like, you go back to Masters, this guy was insane. That's something that Vitality will have to bear in mind. It's like, okay, we got through on some close games, some OTs. That was how we won out the series. Is Woot going to be as quiet? Probably not. And that means we now have to look at the other side and go, oh, okay, who can step up? Who can close this guy down? Is that something that Vitality have thought about? Can we get this guy out of the game? Because if they can, fair play. Because many have tried, and other than, I think, Gen G in a grand final that went the distance, everyone else failed.
Understandably, from what we've seen over the last few stages at least. For Heretics, Hunter's Fury still there. Same can be said for Vitality. But we look at Sander, the Viper's Pit on the attack side. This could help Vitality to put up another round if they can get themselves onto a site. It seems like boots on the ground isn't the problem, it's holding on afterwards. Although Heretics have had some things to help them get back into some of those fights. Yellow. That's where Boo is currently sat in the position given away. He's isolated. Hunter's Fury is going to be activated by Rian's, attempting to make this fight easier. Miniboo steps in to help out, taking the threat up top out of the game. And even tagging Sender down to 45. Back of your mind now, use that Viper's Pit. It might even equalize a fight, but with low HP, I'm not sure it'll be used here.
I wonder if they may even consider using their own Hunter's Fury to try and work a pick. Because right now the round looks out of their control. Wu up above, he's already spotted the gun. That's information. Gets the first. The trade is immediate, but even still, those numbers in favor of the opposing side. Sender hoping to try and catch someone on the cross. I don't think that Viper's Pit's coming in, but that's a big fight. Kicks takes down Rian's a little bit ahead of everyone else. The swing, again, is there for the trade, though. That advantage doesn't last for long.
Yeah, Boot dropped his toxins just in time, and now they won't be going back up. Swing around the back could have been it for Trex. But now the spike is on the floor, and the man with 45 HP has to 1 versus 2. At least it's easy players like Banji, Fishy, and Miniboo to take down. And yet they were looking the wrong way, and indeed they've lots of angles to cover. The timing might work out for one pick, and then it's a winnable fight. There's the one up top. Oh, he got distracted at the wrong moment. Seconds away from success, but instead it's 5-1 to Heretics.
I feel like that might have been someone going, oh, it's top left, and then just that slight flinch is enough for Miniboo to get the kill. He's another one who's been very self-critical. For someone as talented as he is,
I think
maybe
he's the
not
main
having
one.
yeah, for sure. Not having the performances he would have wanted right now. Up there with Woot, this is the deadly duo. This is the duo that strikes fear into anyone's hearts. And well, so far, this has been incredibly clean. 5-1 up. Weaponry again, not the best, but I see a Blade Storm. I see Safe. It's winnable.
Heretics originally wanted to push straight down middle, instead moved to 2 of Hunter's Fury. Oh, it just misses Woot. He's caught, tagged up once, but the kill shot not found, and it's Rian's instead to draw first blood. Here's the pit, though. Beautiful round for it. Stingers and Sheriffs, they can manage to let those players on Heretics walk through, take the decay, maybe even the alarm bot as well. Then they could find themselves in a wonderful spot. I don't like that the furthest forward person is the Viper. In a round like this, that is 99% of your advantages.
That's the thing, there's Thrash on the other side.
He dodges it, though.
Already, straight in. That's going to be one player caught. Sender's done amazing work, but eventually traded. And now Kix is just dying within the rest of the site. There needs to be some nice shots hit by Runner, and he'll go down. Left onto Trex, a few low players. Nobody on that defusal just yet. He's managed to dodge the player over the rope, but now they know where he is. Well, Boo holding on with not his hands. Will be able to get that final shot.
He's done well up on the ropes, 6-1, and now it's Vitality on the ropes. This attack side hasn't got off to a great start, although that wasn't a buy round, and there was some serious potential in it. The fact that the pick goes down.
3 ults, though.
Yeah. At least as well as some trade ability. Sender does so well to find that. Of course, the spam is enough to take him down afterwards. Oh, rather, Boo dropping straight on him.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, though. It's like, yeah, I agree, it's not a buy round. So in isolation, you go, okay, that's not too bad. But when you're 6-1 down, you use 3 ults. Hunter's Fury that does half HP. The Viper's Pit was good, and then the Blade Storm did nothing as well. So it's like 2 of the 3 ultimates did nothing.
I think Safe, okay, but we'll get back to that in a second. Early aggression by Miniboo does serious damage. Kicks us down on 5 HP, but survives. It means Thrash is still there for a late play with some risks, perhaps. Yeah, I think at this point, there it is. It's going to be thrown through. 2 players spotted on the back of the site, wrapping around just for the information, put in a safe spot to be retrieved. Only danger is that if they fire utility, never mind, they are just fighting tooth and nail for this site. I thought they'd give it up on Heretics, play the retake we saw in the pistol. Instead, with 5 HP on Kicks, Thrash non-recoverable, I think it's going to fade away. You have to hope Sender can find some value on that lurk again. He did it before. Kicks is down now, so definitely no Thrash. And with Safe holding on for dear life, and now Sender spotted in mid, this round does not seem to be going anywhere for the attackers.
No, and the worst thing is as well is for Heretics, these rounds are getting more and more confident. You're seeing Miniboo take bigger and bigger risks and succeeding off the back of them. And it even looks like Vitality might have just come in a little bit cold. Like, we're not seeing like those rounds from Safe where he even gets like an opener or 2. He's 2 and 7 right now, getting slaughtered. And we're looking at 25 seconds, spike down on the deck. In fact, Boo has decided to go back to the other side of the map just to try and hunt down some. That's not bad, though. 2 quick kills has at least made things look a little bit interesting, but the time is ticking away. The second anybody goes for that plant, you expect that there's going to be a move for the rest of the players. Snakebite not going to be connecting, but as said, Boo already taking that space, a lot of damage done, and well, there isn't going to be any hope in the end. A low HP mini Boo is about all you get. And while Heretics get even further ahead.
And even the ult used, you know, it's not going to be that noteworthy. It's not an ult that you plan your rounds around. Let's put it that way. 7-1 lead. So far this season, thinking back on some of the games that we've had, this is where we see teams start to make the turnaround. You have to hope for Vitality that this will be the case.
Is this pause number 2?
Yeah, this is where they called the pause last time as well. I think they were 4-1 down, called a pause, 7-1 down, called a pause. They do like to burn them up early, but here, looks like they're just going to run in dry. Hoping that the adjustments made by the players round to round will be enough, and, well, we certainly hope so. Lockdowns available for Runner. Same can be said for Benji the Fish, though.
Yeah, and the problem is thus far, Runner's been getting destroyed. Currently has 1 kill. Sure, we don't want to harp on a player, but it's going to be difficult to win games like that. Boo again. Only goal is to delay. Now, a lot of the time they're going to leave him as solo, but...
Nice shots.
Oh, I don't want to jinx him, but he's normally pretty good at staying alive. They're going to pressure him, though. They're actually pushing all the way forward to try and get this man out of the corner, and that's exactly what they've done. I like the adaptation. The problem is, again, Riens comes up. Another triple kill on the B site. He's not been called upon massively throughout this game, but when he is... Whoa!
I don't know how he's managed to do this. He'd already used the lockdown. I was about to say, what a disaster. They used the ult, and then the round's basically over. But now, 6 versus 2. The HP bar is barely visible on your screens. The spike down in the open, but Runner's trying to play a smart game. Catch this player off before he goes for the spike.
Is Riens going around so he can hunt his Fury? If the guy is low, he will just hit him once. So he's far enough away. He also has 2 shock darts, so he can play this off the low HP. I love it. Just be as far away from the guy as humanly possible. Don't give him an opportunity. If he tries to rotate, you catch him. And if he tries to plant, you kill him.
HP doesn't matter on the opposite side of the map. It's a smart play. 14 seconds as well. Even denying the plant once or twice, that will be enough. Depends how long Runner takes. 8 seconds. 7. Now the plant comes in. Hunter's Fury. It's not trained on him, but he's moved. Now just 1 correct guess from Riens. That's all it takes. A game of battleships, and he's got him! His 4th kill of the round. Riens beating Vitality into the dirt. It's 8-1.
I'll be honest, I don't know if that was his call or somebody else's, but that's the smartest way to play that 1v1 you would ever see. Like, it's so big brain to just avoid him altogether. You're low on HP, you have an ultimate that can deny plants, and obviously from Runner's perspective, he's like, I'm low, I need to land a bullet. I can't give him the time of day, I can't give him an opportunity. It was a really nice attempt from Runner. As said, he's been very quiet so far. Unfortunately, the way Riens played that, literally perfect.
What a round. Props to Runner for still making it competitive, though. My guy was 6 HP in a 1v3, and he almost had it. Came down to a game of chance, but, well, Heretics are winning everything so far. 8-1 in the lead. Viper's Pit and Lockdown online. They've got the safety nets of ultimates to fall back on. Big, heavy-hitting ultimates, too. The way the game's been going, I almost expected Benji to one-tap save through this smoke.
They've got through.
He's been having a tough time, but there it is. Safes round. He's activated. He's dropped Boo, and the entire B site is up for grabs.
It looks like they just got a little bit distracted. Nobody peeking towards mid while the orb was up, and they managed to get behind them. Speaking of behind them, Miniboo's done exactly the same. It'll be the trade out. Runner now gone. The guy who tried to win the last round almost on his own. And with a couple of high-impact ults, this is going to be difficult. They even use Miniboo alongside the Thrash as a distraction. 2 players remaining, Kicks and Trex. Try and hold on to this one. The wraparound could be perfect. It's been a round of flanks. That's everything in this one, and he gets the job done on both. It's now down to Miniboo. Trying to find out where the second player is. He has absolutely no idea, and Vitality will get their second round.
At long last, they found the road to recovery. Their first steps taken. 2-8. It's a tough scoreline, to say the least, but this is a better face in the early round. As I said, Safe has been getting incredibly unlucky. And we didn't touch on it, but the Blade Storm that he used a couple rounds ago when they had the Stingers, they used the Viper's Pit with the super low buy. Safe was the main man. He popped Blade Storm, he got to the site, and I'm pretty sure he got shot in the head through the smoke. Like, in a round like that, you put your heart and soul into it and get shut out by RNG, by a well-placed shot, but a guess nonetheless. Now, though, finding that little bit of confidence in that previous round, we'll see if that feeds into more positive results for Vitality. Well, it's happened again. They've just shot through a smoke and killed a key player. Kicks is down, plants are harder, flashes even harder. This is, well, a tough start to the round, to say the least.
Normally he's passive. Normally you don't expect him to be anywhere near that position, but Boo just decides, you know what? I'm going to take a pot shot. I'm going to try and deny them some form of orb control, and he's got a free kill for it. Kick's gone. The rest of the team now spread across the map, but the same is there for the defense. Continuously swapping up their positions. And I guess right now, if I'm the Vitality players, I'm sort of just trying to work out, where is Rienz? And how do I not go that way?
Yeah, and another thing when you talk about look for Heretics that round on B, they had Rienz to back up. I believe it was Woot. It just doesn't seem to be a lot that they can be surprised by so far. Here on the attack side, Vitality sending a lot of signals that it's an A site hit, but there is the information. Plant coming in on B, Nano's destroyed. Mosh was going to be thrown through. Instead, they settle on the spam, and it's damn well successful. 26 HP on Sender, but he's still drawing breath, still alive with that snake bite for the late round.
This is the counter as well. Lockdown available, but Hunter's Fury is on the other side. Trex, at least for the moment, is likely going to try and hold on to that. Doesn't want his players to be forced out of position, but they're already moving on it. Miniboo with one, he knows exactly where Runner is, but he still manages to turn him. It's become a bit awkward for Woot, but the players are low, down to just one, and Trex will hold the line. Another on the board for Vitality, scraping these together. And bear in mind, last time this map was played, it went to OT even when they had only 3 attack rounds. Now, I will say, they did start off the second half with 7 round wins in a row, which is easier said than done. But it means that even if they get to 4 here, they will have actually done better than what happened last time.
And with the context of how dominant some of these early fights were. 7-1 lead. Yeah, what a recovery this would be. Still possible.
He actually jumped.
8-4 possible. Now for Vitality, they need to fight for it. Operator comes out and almost has its first victim. Safe mere pixels away from ripping Rienz from this round, but instead, Blade Storm is going to be activated as he seeks them out. Dash burned for no use. Swapping out of the weapons. He has the Blade Storm, so why give them an off? Why throw that on the floor early on? Miniboo, nice. Slide in and out. He made it out. I was certain the trade was coming through. Mosh Pit got kicks. Rienz is on to Safe. And well, any positives that there were for Vitality have quickly faded. The lockdown at least, but they're not even going to be alive, are they? Rienz has got another triple and 9 rounds on the board. Triple kill for Rienz and triple the rounds for Heretics.
Yeah, I want a teammate like Rienz there. I'm not sure who it was who got detained, but he is holding in front, so the second someone comes around the corner, he just insta-headshots them. Doesn't give them a chance. There you go, Woot caught, and it's like, no, Rienz isn't letting you go down. He's 18-6 right now, and I can think of maybe 4, maybe even 5 rounds that he won for the team. Having a lights-out performance. As said, this is exactly the same as it went last time, but it's whether or not you have that belief that Vitality are going to be able to turn this. It definitely starts with a pistol. That's what got them off the starting blocks last time around on this defensive side, and they can definitely do it on the defense.
Keep it cool.
It's just going to be easier said than done when you do have Rienz, Woot, and Miniboo all up there on the board. They're so hard to play against.
I don't think this attack side's going to be very weak, but Vitality better hope they find the pistol and then some weaknesses afterwards. Benji pushed up close. Kicks is about to run right into him. The turret took contact in mid as well, so they know that Vitality are taking a very aggressive stance to this early round. Heretics' response is to hasten the pace to B. Moving quite quickly through that utility, but Sender's pot shots are good. Miniboo trying to make up for it up close, but too many players awaiting him. It's a 3-man swing from Vitality. Looks like they've got the solution here in the pistol with just 1 left. It's Rienz. He's been unbelievable so far, but, well, this was a bridge too far. 4 rounds locked in for Vitality. Let's see if they can start the comeback on the defense.
I'm not gonna lie, when he swung that, I was like, I reckon he gets 3. I reckon he still takes down some of them. But no, big round for Vitality. I think the thing I really love about this sort of B-site defense that they have is they're very good at that plant denial. They're really good at making things incredibly awkward with just the sheer amount of utility that they have on their side. It's something they're going to try and do throughout, and it was something that Heretics really struggled with. It took OT for them to get this over the line, even after a similar dominant defensive side half. The buy on this side, a little bit different. Much more investment into the rifles. Mitch, we'll talk about the Outlaw now.
Yeah, well, what a great round it is for it, Tom, realistically. No one's got heavy shields. It's an operator with 2 shots. That's all you need to know. So you're going to find out a whole lot more in a moment. Wait till Safe gets the opportunities. It will be a while. Big play towards B. Down in the back of Yellow. Oh, no, runner's already down, but Sender undetected. Oh, no. Okay, he's going to get something from it. It's a little bit messy. It's very messy. One of the messiest fights I think I've ever seen. But he gets there in the end, and Kicks comes in to save the day. Narrowed down to a 1 versus 3 with Boo on 40. He's at least recovered himself an opportunity, but that is when the big gun comes in to close out the round. The Outlaw, long have we waited, and finally we received.
But in this case, I don't think size mattered, as it was Kicks who got the majority of the kills and almost got himself the ult already. It's such a powerful ultimate to have in retakes especially, and even with slightly weaker weaponry, I say slightly because they still have rifles across the board. If he can get a single kill, this round can easily swing into the favor of Vitality. And as said, it was 7 in a row that kicked off their defensive side when they faced off, just days ago.
Standing ahead.
But now though, Heretics now come in with the buy. There is that Thrash, collecting the orb early. And now, if anything, I'd rather see them play the retake on A.
It certainly looks like that's the way they're leaning. No one's even on the site right now. Just covering the cross, spotting the information, and waiting to blitz in with Thrash to play with. This is a big round for Vitality. Setting the record straight and putting them back in the game if they find it. And there's some serious opportunities. Not many weaknesses. Even the rifles that are there can do serious damage. And with an Outlaw, granted on the wrong side of the map, usually you'd like it to soften up targets early, but perhaps a chance for Safe to make a big play to get back into the round. They can just do damage. Keep some even trades. I like the setup. Many players ready for these fights, and in particular, Trex is the one that has no chance because he's been shot in the head by Will. Mini Boo's wrecked runner, and just like that, the advantages have slipped. The Thrash, I would say unlikely to be used. If they find a pick or two, maybe.
That would be an interesting commitment at this stage.
Maybe now.
Turn the tide, in fact. That definitely does. Straight away, Kicks backs out to throw out the Thrash. Mini Boo already tagged up. He's going to shoot it, but it's traded. Not really a worthwhile fight at that point. And now the remainder are not really on an angle to try and deny this. The Nano Swarm has done its job, and Benji has another, trying to throw that through from afar, but the fight hasn't gone his way. It's going to be left all on to Benji, and although he'll be able to hit that initial shot, there is plenty of time remaining for Vitality to defuse.
Yeah, if the clock ran that little bit lower perhaps, but 2 quick kills deep on the site, followed by the Thrash trade. Absolutely perfect play from Vitality. They didn't overstep the mark until they knew that the chances were going their way, and you have to wonder for Heretics, they needed to take those aggressive stances, already being in a 5 versus 3. Sometimes you got to take a risk, but it certainly didn't pay off here.
I think for Woot, he got caught in a pixel angle. For me, the one that was more of a problem is Rian's just having the shock dart out. It's a mistake. It happens, but as said, you don't want to allow Vitality to start streaking rounds together. Already the difference down to just 3. They come in with a much stronger buy than their opponents. They get to build up economy in the previous round. We're picking up some of those extra rifles. And Sender, I think he's just shot directly between 2 players.
We saw Orb as well, I believe, taken by Trex. Vitality took some serious control over A main. A lot of that utility they used to do so refreshes and will be ready for what is presumably a retake on B. Swarm Grenade will delay it somewhat, and I see the spike going back to check flank, so maybe we're incorrect about that one. They got very close. Boots on the ground of B, but now they're shifting direction and leaving Boo behind to cause some problems, right? He's putting up his wall, he's firing some shots, but now they're seeing him run away with the drone, with the tag, and the rotation won't be there in time. Safe has to hold strong, maybe find 1 or 2. as they make their way into the site. They've avoided his sight lines to begin with and traded him out efficiently. The rifle might even have fallen down, so should be recoverable.
That's just whether or not they can get anywhere near it. Trex is going to stop the plant and definitely make things a little bit more difficult. And in fact, they're looking to try and take the space back completely. Not wanting to allow them to get into position. Woo, again though, and Riens! The pistol, Guardian, working out for them. 2 now remaining, and look at the ultimates. Wu, I would say using his is almost a death sentence, and well, he's gone anyway. Riens, though, has now fallen back with the Hunter's Fury. There's such a high impact ult in this sort of position. And you can see the side of Vitality having to take so much time to try and clear this out. Don't have a whole lot to play with. Don't have anything in terms of their abilities left. And there is that Hunter's Fury. He's actually popped early. Already tagging up Sender. And he's just waiting to try and put through the final blip. They actually push up aggressively, and they've walked past one of the players. All too easy. Nano landing as well. It's left to Sender with little to no time, little to no hope, and unless there's a serious mistake made by the remaining players, well, it's not gonna happen.
Nice try. Leaving it down to the last second just in case he can get that diffused across the line. It would have been legendary. But instead, it's double digits found by the side of Heretics. And Vitality, well, this is not a round that I think they expected to lose coming into it. And the fact that Woot is the one double entering, then planting himself. Sure, he gives up his life in the end, but certainly caused enough disarray in the ranks to get it across the line. Gorgeous play.
But that's the thing, the way he's playing at the moment, he might get to half the kills he had in a best of 3 on all 3 maps in just this one. So it does look like a different beast today. Even still, they brought back this difference before. Safe now going to be onto the operator, so it might be that little bit more difficult to take down, but Woot still has that ult available. The thing is, a lot of players on the other side are close. Sender's Viper's Pit, a single kill, and he could deny them any space on B. But he's got to get that kill first.
Trex is here for the moral support. He's only got himself a stinger, but plenty of utility to help his teammates take those fights. I think Drone likely to be used on B in the, well, the next 10, 20 seconds. They've got no information. Well, Heretics might even jump the gun ahead. Already Mosh is going to be thrown up. Trex forced back. No, in fact, he steps forward, stays on the site. Might be ready to take some fights, but they're already in the spawn. Minibu quickly pushing the flank, but Trex has found one. The Stinger not able to upgrade just yet, and they're still desperately trying to deal with Minibu. He's claimed another victim, the Viper this time, and spotted the operator. He's not going to peek that again. Instead, sending Vitality through the other direction, funneling them.
They have to kill him.
They do, very much so. Safe went and got a rifle just so he can deal with this man, and now he's going to try to close in the distance. Getting up close, having to walk through his own smoke, and Trex takes advantage of the distraction. That's a great start. Thrash thrown around to deny any plant, maybe catch them, but it's destroyed in the open. Diffuse now starts. This is perfect. Vitality are right back in the round, although the diffuse is denied. Woot able to find 2. I thought they had a serious chance, but again, the Boo brothers strike. And it's Boo himself to carry it across the line. It's 11-6.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like, firstly, the initial setup from Heretics was just perfect. Like, they had utility to force players out of angles that could cause Minibu problems up above in the nest. Then he has a flash that goes through that leaves the player blind, and his own stun as well. And it's a gorgeous opener, and wow. I feel like the recovery was actually pretty decent as well. Like, Vitality did good work to clear him from that spot. The problem is, once again, Wu in late round scenarios. That guy is on a different gravy to last time. He has hit a couple of disgusting headshots to close out that round. And well, now, that streak that I talked about last time has not happened. And immediately, Vitality are going to take a pause.
Oh, Boo, yet to hit 10 deaths. My guy's being pretty passive in those late round positions, and I really enjoyed it. You see this round, you had a 3 versus 2. You had Woot back yellow, and who's sent to deal with him? Safe. Running around the back, about to take the blind side, but Boo's holding it. He's ready as soon as the cross is made to yellow. Safe is out of the round, and the guy he was sent to deal with takes down the final 2.
Yep.
And then obviously the fact that Minibu was able to push into their spawn, kill 1, then deny another, dodge an up shot, you know, that certainly assisted in this acquisition. 11-6, 2 more rounds for Heretics to take this across the line. But here's where Vitality get a little bit of a boost. You know, Heretics used a lot of ults. Even in that last round, Thrash was burned up, right? Hunter's Fury not long before. Vitality have 3 ultis, big ultis to work with, but they haven't got the weaponry to do so. So that Blade Storm from Safe, Last time, he got shot through a smoke immediately. You have to think it's at least going to be a bit better this time.
Well, the fact is, there's no doubt that Minibu isn't stopping, but he has been taken out. Woot, again with the trade. But again, these are only the pistols. These aren't the danger weapon. The problem is, safe is so desperately low. It almost has to be immediate shots. And look at where the other players are. They're deep on B. They've just walked in. There's absolutely no one here. The only problem will be the collection of the spike. If there's any way that that could be stopped by Sender, that might give them a chance of winning the round. Other than that, I think this might already be over, and he's not even going to be particularly close.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, it was a timing there for Trex. There was a chance, and even without the timing, he's landed the shot. Boo's a little hesitant to go for that fight, understandably, but he gets there. 45 on safe, rifle recovered. Maybe give that to Sender, yeah. We've made the right call. Viper's Pit is there, but again, maybe it's better to save that for the next round. 2 versus 3, low HP on safe. But if the Bladestorm finds one, who knows? Back yellow doubled up. It's Boo and Rienz with a very far play from Woot. Presumably he'll have a mosh pit lineup, but if Safe gets the timing, it's a free kill. Equalizing the numbers, looking for Boo, finding him too, and it's only Woot. His late rounds have been near perfect. Mosh pit goes through, could be too little too late though. The defuse is very close, and Spike diffuser killed. I'm gonna need a slow motion recap of that one. That was down to the wire.
That might even be one where the HUD baits you.
Yeah,
it might even be one where it's so unbelievably close that it looks like it's done. That's so unfortunate. Just the perfect timing from the Bosch, like literally perfect. A millisecond later, a second extra to get that final kill, and that defusal is going to be happening, and there's nothing Woot can do about it.
Here we go. Here we go.
There is a slight bar. It's very, very slight, but it is
2
there.
pixels at most. That's all I'll give you.
That's a lot.
Decent. Decent width. Well, Safe is forced back as well early by Dizzy. He was on top of yellow. They're pinging it. They know he was there. Soon they'll know he is no longer. Waiting for Dizzy to come back online, no doubt, though, after recovering it. Nice reposition by Safe. He's dodged the reveal and caught the shot. That's Mini Boo down, and Woot on 10.
Even still, Kicks has gone down in middle. The HP low on Woot is definitely going to help them out on Benji. He's hoping to try and find a gap. There actually isn't anybody left on this A site. As I said, Runner's been having a bit of a rougher time, but I feel like they're just playing this one with a lockdown. Although, I say that, he's going walkabouts. Normally, you'd almost opt to sit outside of the site, use that lockdown to force them back. Instead, though, he is still hanging around, maybe wanting to try and get one on the cross first.
Runner. If he goes down here, it's a bit of a disaster. I understand him trying to at least find that pick after he sees the information. I guess that's really what he was looking for. The lockdown comes into play. No aggression. Team Heretics, they're not looking to fully push up and take that control. Instead, falling back, conceding the space, and like you said, Viper's Pit, it's used. And he's able to just about dip out. Here comes the lockdown, finished, and he's right back into the pit, keeping the smoke integrity online. In fact, because it was deploying, didn't even start to tick down. Boo's now got a serious position to play from. They know the defuse is not underway. Rienz is picked Safe off up top, but there goes Boo. Now the pit's gone. The one thing giving them that advantage, making the post-plant utility so dangerous out of the round, but they still have to fight forward, and it's not going well. Just Runner left standing, he'll find one, almost corrects for Benji, but there was too much to do. 13-6 on the first map. Heretics aren't pulling any punches.
Yeah, it was a bold call to go back. Clearly, Vitality still believed in the strength of their Icebox. Unfortunately, the result, well, it's not the same. It's just that little bit worse. So I have to see if they can turn it around. They've already beaten them once on Sunset. In fact, they're one of the only teams to do it. Let's see if they can double it up.
I know a place that will break you into 1,000 pieces. Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso. Don't ask about Lola. Ay, Caballo Grande. Ay, Dolor de Nieve. But in spite of everything, it occurs to you to visit Andalusia. Don't say I didn't warn you. Be careful of the Andalusian crush.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through Attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.